Thanks for listening to Out of My League. If you like what you heard, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or follow me on Twitter at @TheNickDiaz.
This is a Bandit Radio production.
Long enough to cover the subject and short enough to keep it interesting. Welcome to Out of My League, presented by Bandit Radio. I'm Nick Diaz. Shit. 30 LSU players get COVID-19 after going to Tigerland last week and not wearing a mask. Now, this is not the first time LSU players have tested positive for something after going to Tigerland, but this is different because it's a pandemic and it's getting more of attention. But matter of fact, LSU players have probably caught more harmful diseases using the bathroom in the Tigerland bar. All jokes aside, the football players are not going to be in any kind of harm. The LSU players have to stay in quarantine for 10 days, and none of them are showing illnesses, but they don't have to be hospitalized. Nothing horrible is going to happen, because if it was going to happen, then these players wouldn't be allowed to play college football in the first place. Asymptomatic, for the most part. Also, I would rather these LSU players get it now than in September after beating Texas and going out to Tigerland and celebrating, and then they're out for 2 weeks. I'd rather it happen now, learn their lesson. And I hope the players learn from all of this that even though it doesn't look cool to walk around Tigerland wearing a mask, do it anyway. Yes, it's harder to hear what people are saying when you're wearing a mask. Yes, it's harder to drink beer when you're constantly pulling up your mask and pulling it back down again. Yes, it's harder to get laid because you look like a dork. But football players have an advantage because they are the defending national champions. They are the football team. If they do it, other students will see them, and hopefully they will be more likely to follow suit. I hope that's the message that Ed Orgeron and the coaching staff tells these players. You lead the way for everyone else, LSU, in the city, and in the damn state. They see you wearing your mask out in public, more of an inspiration. Regardless of your feelings about COVID-19, just wear a mask. It's not that hard. Now, I heard one sports reporter, Ross Dellinger of Sports Illustrated, he's a great guy, I love him. He just said, 1, wear your mask, LSU players, and 2, stay away from Tigerland. Oh, come now, Ross. Let's be realistic here. Now, I'm no fan of Tigerland either, but let's just start off small, the small things, the easy things, and work our way up. Let's not, it's like a person losing weight. If a person's overweight, they're trying to lose weight, you don't go straight from eating for whatever you want to going vegan. You slowly work your way up. Slowly. Don't tell them to just not go to Tigerland. That won't work. Just wear a mask. Not that hard. Now, another story dealing with LSU, but this is men's basketball. The NBA has informed their teams of a second window for players to enter the 2020 NBA draft until August 17th. And the draft itself will be held on October 16th. So, there's now a new date, a new deadline for players to enter their name into the 2020 NBA draft. Now, for LSU basketball, what does this mean? This could affect Trendon Watford, who is expected to come back, and Javonte Smart, who is even more likely to come back for this coming basketball season. Now, many reports have suggested they're coming back because of their draft stock rising potentially if they play another year of college basketball. Now, what could change with this new date to August 17th is that if the pandemic is worsening as we get closer to August, and also a potential second wave with colder weather during basketball season, it could bring it to the point that severe disruptions to the entire college basketball season, that maybe they just delay it or, God forbid, don't play it at all. Now, it's hard to predict COVID-19, but I'd assume that if this is what's going on by August, that some players may want to rethink their worldview and future plans. Again, it's hard to predict COVID-19. I'm not trying to. It's a guessing game every damn week. But with all the wonderful amount of positivity going on every time you turn on the news and swing through Twitter, this will affect the perception of some players and their futures. So if they're hearing a bunch of stuff about, oh, it's really, really bad on news and on Twitter, then they may panic and say, I'm going to just take my shot and try and get drafted and go to the NBA now. Hell, we've already seen LSU recruiting get cock-blocked by Dick Vitale with his journalism. Media affects players' perceptions. Who's to say it can't happen again? Now, last story. Ryan Perrilloux was interviewed by Jacques Doucet, and he's been doing Jacques Doucet has been doing some really great stuff with former players, and he interviewed Ryan Perrilloux this past week, and the big takeaway from that interview is Ryan Perrilloux said that if he would not have gotten kicked off the team and would have played in 2008 and 2009 for LSU, that LSU would have won a national title in at least one of those seasons. Now, my short answer to that? No. No. Several reasons. The 2008 team had one of the worst defenses of the Miles era because of the two co-defensive coordinator system with two coaches I can't remember the name of or just don't want to. And in 2009, okay, that team was much better. They almost beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa that season. Alabama went on to win the national championship. So who knows if maybe Perrilloux would have made some few plays. Maybe they would pull that one off. But here's the problem with that 09 team. Les Miles. The team was talented, but not talented enough. If Ryan Perrilloux would have carried them over the top, and he had the talent to do so, the issue is still Leslie Miles. Well, the offense would have been better with Ryan Perrilloux. Would it? Would it though? We see what happens when you get the right system, even though you have a good quarterback and the players. We saw that the past 2 years with Burrow and crew. Les Miles was slowly but surely trying to maintain his version of offensive football, which is, hey, diddle diddle, run it up the middle, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Didn't matter how talented the quarterback was. We saw him and Jimbo Fisher his first 2 years with Jamarcus Russell butt heads in certain games, the Auburn game, the Florida game in 2006, just getting in the way of Jimbo Fisher, who's a great offensive mind. He's now won a national championship as a head coach. Developed multiple quarterbacks and record-breaking offenses. And his offense struggled in certain big games because of Leslie Miles getting in the way. So, no. Would they have been better? Yeah. More entertaining? Maybe. But national champions, look, I love Ryan Perrilloux. I wish he wouldn't have gotten kicked off the team. I don't think it was right for him to get kicked off the team. But short answer, no.